What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4 here, bringing you another Fantasy 15 video. Today we're looking at the top 5 busts for the running back position. As always, guys, let's hit 50 likes on this video for a new video to be uploaded. I know you guys can do it. As always, subscribe to Beast Mode TV. We went 10,000 subs by the time Madden 16 comes out. I know we can reach that goal. You guys just keep on keeping on like you are. So without further ado, looking at how we did in 2014, a little bit of a flashback. Really well. Probably my best, let's see, what are we? Second best category overall, aside from wide receiver sleepers, was the running back bust. At number 5, we had Ray Rice as our number 5 bust, and he didn't even play last year, so there's 1 point. Number 4, we had Trent Richardson, which was another point. He finished 35 overall in total running back scoring. Number 3, we had Darren Sproles for my Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know why the fuck I was hating him. 31 overall in scoring. In PPR leagues, even more valuable. He was an outstanding weapon for the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 2 was No-Shawn Marino. Correct point there. He was 95th in total scoring. Everyone thought, going to Miami after that big year in Denver, he was going to go off. And number 1, another Eagle, Ryan Matthews, who finished 60th overall in total scoring. So we went 4 right, 1 wrong for bust in 14. Now we're going to go 5 for 5. Actually, let's go 4 and 1 because number 5 that I'm going to talk about, I hope he actually does go off. Number 5 is going to be DeMarco Murray for a bust. This is coming from an Eagles fan. Now, I'm just saying this because I don't think he'll be a finish top 5 in scoring. He's still going to be a top 10 without a doubt, but just because, a lot of people may consider him with their first, within the first 5 picks of the first round, I don't think he's going to be a top 5 overall runner because there's just too many weapons. Darren Sproles, Ryan Matthews, all those guys got to share the carries. And Chip Kelly already came out and said he's not going to get the ball as much as he did last year in Dallas. I still have 1,200 rushing yards, 11 rushing touchdowns for DeMarco Murray, is going along with 250 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown. So I think he's still going to beat an elite running back, but just because the volume's not going to be there what he had in Dallas, he's just not going to be a top 5 fantasy running back. So maybe, I'd be really comfortable getting him at the later end of the first round, early second, but if you're at a top 5 pick in the first round, I don't think you go to DeMarco Murray. There's better options there. Number 4 is going to be Justin Forsett of the Baltimore Ravens. I think last year is going to be, I think he's solid, he's really fast, but he's getting up there in age, and I think last year will be his one peak season. I'm seeing 800 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, as well as 200 receiving yards for Justin Forsett in this upcoming year. I just think the whole Baltimore Ravens offense is going to struggle. They don't have, Joe Flacco's, an unreal playoff quarterback, but during the regular season he's average, and I don't really see any receiving threats that's going to stretch the field downfield and be able to make those holes for Justin Forsett to be able to work. They have a really good offensive line going for him, one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, but I still think Forsett will struggle, and he's just because how small he is. He's an injury prone type player. Just for if teams are going to target him now, they know after that last year that he was their big offensive, their number 1 go-to offensive player. He's going to be targeted. So I don't know if he even lasts the whole season. The durability will be a concern for me. Number 3, LeSean McCoy, former Philadelphia Eagle. Maybe you're like, oh my god, he's just saying that because he's a salty Eagle fan. Maybe, but as an Eagle fan, I also know that the offensive line comparison, Buffalo does not have an offensive line that's comparable to Philly if Philly, honestly, as an Eagle fan, Philly has an A offensive line. Not an A+, but an A. Buffalo, B-, C+ offensive line to go with the fact that LeSean McCoy cannot find a hole. So I don't know if they've run a zone blocking scheme up there in Buffalo, but Shady Dance is way too much for a standard through-the-tackle runner. Somewhat, they had C.J. Spiller and Fred Jackson, so they probably will be accustomed to being able to block for Shady, a guy that's not, goes right through the proper hole. But I mean, I think the Shady's gonna. I think he'd be a safe second round pick, but I would not use a first round pick on LeSean McCoy. I have him having 900 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns to go along with 450 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown. So obviously, I don't think he's gonna crack 1,000, the century mark. I think his receiving numbers will be up from last year in Philly, but I don't see him cracking the 1,000-yard rushing mark. Plus, like I said, Fred Jackson's still there. There's 2 legit running backs, so you also have to worry about he's not going to be their number 1. He will be their number 1, but he's not going to be the workhorse back. They're going to give some carries to Fred Jackson, get him in there on a couple snaps as well. Number 2, Lamar Miller for the Miami Dolphins. Really solid season last year. I just don't think the Miami Dolphins offensive line is quite there. I think they're for pass blocking. I think Ryan Tannehill's going to have a better year, but I don't think the rushing is going to be there in the interior. I did recall they're actually moving Mike Pouncey back to center. That could help, but I think Lamar Miller, 750 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns to go on with 200 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. That'll be a solid return, but just because of where he finished last year, I think he actually might have been top 10 between like the 8. I want to say for safeties between 8 and 12 probably. Don't expect that kind of return this year from Lamar Miller. And the number 1 bust for running back position, I'm going Frank Gore. Not going out on a super limb. He is getting up there in age, but he's going to a pass-happy offense there in Indianapolis. They pretty much proved last year with Trent Richardson that they don't need to run the ball to make the playoffs. Obviously, Frank Gore is an upgrade over Trent Richardson, but I think people are going to overrate him because they're going to see he's part of this, going to be arguably the best offense in the AFC on the Colts this year. They're going to be like, oh my God, I got to get him. For me, I got Frank Gore finished with 700 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, 150 receiving yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. Maybe a good 4th, 5th round pick. I would not take him any higher than that. Don't be fooled by the offense. So there you have it, guys. Those are my top 5 running back busts for 2015. As always, can we hit 50 likes on this video? I don't expect a lot of my bust videos to hit 50 likes because you guys are just be like, fuck this guy. Doesn't know he's talking shit with my favorite player. But it is what it is. Keep subscribing to Beast Mode TV, guys. And until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out.